Red foxes are some of the most widely known and beloved creatures in nature. They're little rascals that are capable of being cunning and crafty, while also being cute and fluffy at the same time. Who doesn't love these little rascals? I know pop culture certainly does, as there have been a lot of depictions and characters based on foxes. And as someone whose second favorite animal is a fox, I quite appreciate that. So today, I thought it'd be a great idea to make a video and upload it to YouTube about my top 5 favorite fictional fox characters in media. Keep in mind, I haven't seen nor am I a fan of every single media that has a fox in it, so if I leave out characters like Diane Foxington or Star Fox, it's either because I haven't experienced the media that they're in, or I'm just not a big fan of it. But enough stalling, let's get down to the list. Here are my top 5 favorite fictional fox characters, starting with Number 5, Classic Tales. Hey, Internet! From this moment onwards, I'm calling this Tales Classic Tales and this Tales Modern Tales, even though they are the same characters canonically, so deal with it. Anyways, while recent depictions of Tails has been less pleasing to the Sonic fans, and I may not be a big Sonic fan myself, and have only ever played Sonic Mania single player and Team Sonic Racing throughout all my life, I really like Tails and his development from the classic era to the adventure era. I enjoy how he went from a cowardly little fox who just tagged along with Sonic, not only because he saved him from the couple of bullies, but also because he admired his bravery and his free will attitude, to a brave young fox who was willing to face his fears no matter what. What I also like about his appearance from these two eras is that the writers really did a good job on emphasizing that he's not just the brains of the main cast, but also strong, fast, capable of fighting, etc. And with his speed and his flight power, he could be the most fun character to play with, even more than Sonic. Also, his classic adventures design and voice just suits the character way more than his modern design. I can't help but look at modern Tails and be like, that's not an 8-year-old, that's a 13-year-old. Really wish SEGA would finally age up the Sonic cast. Number 4, Fink the Fox. Fink the Fox may start off as a stereotypical cunning fox character, but given the setting of the Wilde robot, his motives were justifiable in his perspective. Fink was just thinking like any other wild animal, always having the belief that every creature must do whatever it takes for themselves to survive, and the wild is a harsh world out there, and that you shouldn't be close to anyone, not even your own family or children, because they're always at risk of being next in line and making sure nature goes as smooth as silk, if you know what I mean. And with that being said, Fink is a really fun character to watch. He may be selfish, but his charisma, charm, and banter with Roz and the other wild animals really does help make his selfishness enjoyable to watch and laugh. Not to mention how he went from not caring for Brightbeak to even willing to eat anyone who speaks ill of him. His slow yet emotional moments with Roz as she contemplates about her development to truly loving Brightbeak as a child is also really nice too. All of this really helps show his development into truly wanting a family and supporting the other wild animals in the forest. All of that made his goodbye with Roz very genuinely heartfelt. Number 3, Serena's Braixen. Woo-wee, this is it! Our last 3 fox/fox-based characters. These guys really helped cement my love for foxes. Without them, I probably wouldn't have loved nor appreciate fox as my second all-time favorite animal. We're starting the top 3 with Braixen, specifically Serena's Braixen. When I first saw Braixen, I didn't really pay much about it. Yeah, it was kind of pretty, but I always thought it was weird that a quadruped like Fennekin would evolve into a bipedal Pokemon like Braixen all of a sudden. But then, the Pokemon XY to XY and Z anime came out and made Serena's Fennekin evolve into a Braixen. At first, I was a bit upset. I liked Serena's Fennekin. I thought it was cute and wished that it could have stayed as a Fennekin for the whole series. But then I decided to continue watching the XY to XYZ anime because of how much I was enjoying it so far during its run on television. Soon after that, I started to love Serena's Braixen. I love her diva yet kind personality, the way she twirled her stick around and danced with amazing choreography, and I started to see how beautiful Serena's Braixen really is. With all of the performance outfits she wore, I definitely think it was brilliant on the writer's behalf for Serena to have a Braixen, as her evolution helped give off a more dynamic and acrobatic feel to her dancing and performance that I just can't get with Fennekin and not even with Delphox. Speaking of Delphox, I hate how the writers decided to have her evolve in journeys like Clement's Bunnelby. Delphox, to me, doesn't really give off the same dynamic feeling with her movement to me compared to Braixen. It just looks awkward, which isn't good when you consider that Serena's and Braixen's whole dream is about dancing. Plus, I can't get a lot of personality out of Delphox compared to Braixen. Braixen, on the other hand, is bursting with personality. She can be cute, pouty, happy, elegant, and even a bit of a hothead sometimes. All I can get out of Delphox is just a old witch vibe from her. That's it. Bottom line, Braixen is more beautiful and has way more personality than her fully evolved form, and I wish that it could have stayed as a Braixen throughout the entire anime run. Number 2, Nick Wilde. This was a tough choice, but in the end I had to put Nick Wilde as the number 2 fictional Fox character, so it was really an interchangeable between him and the real number 1 spot on this list. Anyways, Nick Wilde is essentially an anthropomorphic version of Fink from the Wilde robot. The only difference is that, of course, Fink developed his cunning and slight persona because that's what foxes were adapted to be in the wild, whereas Zootopia is a world exactly like our world except with anthropomorphic talking animals. Yet they still have the same harsh prejudice against certain animals because of what they once were before their development. And for Nick, it was that society couldn't trust him because he's a fox, and foxes were naturally sly tricksters. So when Nick got an opportunity to help animals as a kid, he was crudely pushed aside from his supposed peers and friends and learned that some dreams were never meant to be because of society's cruelness. So his cunning con artist persona, as well as his mild grudge against Judy Hopps, was understandable, as her refusal to quit an optimistic dream of becoming a police officer contrasts greatly to Nick and his realistic approach to reality and its cruelness. Yet despite that, he still gives off a fun, charismatic, and charming persona during his time in the film, and his back and forth banter with Judy Hopps, as well as the way he smiled at her, certainly helped fuel many shipping fans, including myself. And while Fink needed to learn how to grow out of his fox stereotypes to become a better supportive figure for the animals in the forest, Nick had to exceed society's expectations and truly show that he can help animals despite his initial refusal. Plus, his voice actor, Jason Bateman, gave this con artist to police officer a lot of good energy and a real genuine performance for his growth. Plus, who else can say this line better than him?
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
Number 1, Foxy the Pirate Fox. It was tough picking which Fox/Fox-based character that I really want to put on the number 1 spot, as I deeply love the FNAF franchise, its lores, the characters, and how they made me invested into a genre that I've avoided for so long. While Zootopia may not have left that much of a significant impact on me as a kid compared to this franchise, I still deeply love and remember the character of Nick to this day. But in the end, I had to go with Foxy as my number 1 favorite Fox character. Back before FNAF, I hated anything to do with horror. I couldn't stand going to a house that had very scary decorations in my opinion back when I was a kid trick-or-treating. And you'll never see me go into a haunted house as a result. That's why I didn't like Halloween. But then came 2014, and it came around FNAF. And while at first I did try to avoid it, I thought it was still in my no horror for me phase, but soon fan-made content came in and finally pulled me in. SFM, Tony Cry Night, The Living Tombstone, fan-made songs about certain characters in FNAF, animation videos about YouTubers playing the actual horror games, etc. They all piqued my interest, but soon I became invested into the world of FNAF, and even started to go ahead and try and watch some actual gameplay videos of YouTubers playing the actual horror game. And I love the lore, I love the stories and the inspiration behind FNAF, and I especially love the animatronic characters, especially Foxy. He immediately grabbed my attention, not only because he was red, as my favorite color is red, but also he had the most unique mechanic where he runs down to the hallway to kill the night guard. He also had a design and theming that was completely different from the other animatronic. Not only was he a pirate, but he was also a lot more slender, edgier, and looked more broken and worn out compared to the other animatronics. He had his endoskeleton explicitly shown on multiple parts of his body, and on top of that, he had a separate stage that had an out of order sign to it, indicating to us viewers that he may not actually be broken and not fit for perform. And because of the latter two factors, many people will start making fan-made songs, animations, and art depicting Foxy as broken and alone. Many people, including myself, felt sorry for him for those reasons initially. Nowadays, we still do feel bad for Foxy, but for a completely different reason. But I still love Foxy the Pirate Fox to this day, and if it weren't for him and the rest of the band of broken yet spiritual cast of animatronics, I wouldn't have tried horror media to this day. And while newer fans may actually prefer Roxanne Wolf more than him, I still love this Pirate Fox and would not trade him for anyone else in the world. Also, shout out to Foxy's voice actor, Christopher McAuliffe. He gave the perfect voice and personality to this character.
Never underestimate the cunning of a pirate. Or a fox, for that matter.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment down below on your favorite fictional Fox characters, or if you want to see any more of these ranking videos from me. I would like to do some more. And as always, subscribe to the channel for more of this content. Alright, that's enough for me, and I'll see you guys in another random time. See ya!